howdy. Nearly Senior Citizen here. Greetings, boys and girls, and welcome to this
brand new day. It's raining outside, and for the first time in quite some time, my kitty is up in the windowsill with her nose poking out the window and sniffing the world as it wafts by. It's still dark outside, so there's not much to see, but it's gonna get light. I mean, just a month and a half ago, it got dark right around 4 o'clock. Now it's close to 5:30, 6 o'clock before it really gets dark. So, hey, what do you say? The sun spins around the earth spins around its axis, and the sun, and of course the sun spins on its own axis, and the axis of the galaxy, and the galaxy is moving. We're part of a local cluster with a whole bunch of galaxies in it. And there's movement in that as well. There's about 8 different directions you're moving all at the same time right now. If you think about it, it is amazing. I mean, really, it is actual. I mean, you are a meat machine, a bone mech. Powered by meat and protected and armored by meat. You're a bone mech striding on the face of a rock that is zooming around a flaming ball of plasma that is spiraling through a rapidly advancing universe. It is amazing. Literally amazing. So thumbs up and welcome to life. And now that we know how amazing life is, down to the mundane. For the weather and the plague rat report in Shelton, Washington, United States of America, northern continent, western and northern hemispheres of the third planet from the sun that we know of, it is raining outside. When I went walkies last night, it had been iffy all day. And cold, and then last night I went walkies and it had rain but wasn't. I got into Safeway and then of course it was, so I had to carry my sodas and my umbrella, and I was off balance, my back, yay. But it was a nice walk. I walked around, I did that sort of thing. It was good. I didn't see a whole ton of people. I went out walking really, really late. It was like 8 o'clock-ish at night. And I don't know why I'm walking so late now. I'm actually getting to bed later. It's getting to be around 10-ish, 10:30 before I get to bed. I'm also doing something right. I'm almost sleeping until, good golly, Miss Molly, 5 o'clock in the morning. So ever since the bad night just a couple nights ago, I've been doing a lot better, so hopefully it'll stay that way. Thumbs up on that. But it's good. It's life, and life is life. We are a thin biofilm on this rock as it hurtles around the flaming ball of plasma. Which, amazingly enough, and it's not really amazing when you consider its size, the sun is 98 point something of all the matter in our solar system. The second largest object that contains most of the mass after that is Jupiter. And then the rest of the planets out here, we have to share what little there is left. Thumbs up for that. Hey, accretion discs for the win. The accretion disk, of course, is just as dust. Bit my tongue, stumbled over my dentures there. As gas and dust accumulates, larger amounts of it, there's gravity. It slowly pulls inward, and then as it gets bigger and larger in the center, it gets hotter and hotter. But it's not just all going to fall in, it forms a disk. And that's what an accretion disk is. It's just that disk. You may have pockets of thicker matter that form in the accretion disk, which become planets. There are at least 9. There was the one between Earth and Mars, which didn't form or broke up or something and became the asteroid belt. But it's just on that accretion disk, so thumbs up for that. And of course, not really a whole ton to talk about. Not a ton has been happening. I mean, I've been getting better since my Friday depressive state. It hasn't been a boom, boom, and then back to normalcy. It's been a wham, and then on a side chart, I've been, climbing back up. So I'm almost back where I usually am, and that's good, but because of that, I'm really wheezing right now. My apologies. Ugh. Hopefully I'm going to be less wheezy for at least a while. Mood. Yes. So I'm almost back to where I was, but I'm still have been way more depressed and out of it than I usually am. Getting better. I'm still on an upward climb right now, and thank God for that. But because of that, I haven't been as creative or deep of thinking or even doing as much as I would like. I'm just finding myself sitting in silence quite a bit. Not even thinking, basically static. So, yay. I'm still doing what I can. To lead into this, I do occasionally still contain a lot of interests in things. I really like the game Postal, the Postal series. Postal 2. I've never played Postal 3, even Running with Scissors. The people that make the Postal series have said, don't play it, forget it exists. And then there's the alpha for Postal 4. They've had some mobile games, and they're making a boomer shooter out of the Postal series as well. Now, I had only recently just heard the term boomer shooter, so if you don't know what I mean when I talk about that, good lord. It's a name that I had not heard of until, literally, I think it was in the last 2 weeks, where it's referring to the old-time shooters, the Quake and Doom and all those, since I can't remember, Duke Nukem and all those, the early-time shooters, because there aren't a lot of games like that anymore. In fact, there are none, except for all the retro shooters that are coming out now. And so there's they call them boomer shooters, and they have a specific look, as it turns out, and there's a really good feel to them. And they're making Postal Brain Damaged, where it's gonna be a boomer shooter, which is gonna be really bizarre, because even though Postal 2 is a first-person shooter, it's not a really amazing gunfire. Is something you would go, gosh, when it comes to guns and what they do, this is what I would point to as the best. They work, it's good, it's fun, because characters explode into body parts, and there's a lot of blood, and there's an extreme amount of violence, but it's not accurate in any way, shape, or form. So I don't know where I'm going with that, but what I'm saying is I've forgotten. It's not a boomer shooter, and so making a boomer shooter out of it is weird. Now, the other thing that I've wanted to talk about with the thing, because there's a Postal subreddit, and somebody had asked a question that was, about the voices, because in Postal, and then they reused the voices for Postal Redux, which was a remake of Postal, and then Postal 2, and then part of Postal 3, which again, forget that it ever existed, they used one voice actor, Rick Hunter. Thing is, he's less of a voice actor than just a radio guy. And so he's mostly does radio stuff, and he has a radio show, and he's even got a YouTube channel and such. But he did the voice for the early games, and now with the latest game, Postal 4, No Regrets, it's got John St. John, the guy who did the Duke Nukem voice. And it's a good voice. He does a good voice. It's just not Rick Hunter's voice. But Rick Hunter, you know, times change. It's been 2003 when the first game came out. Almost 20 years ago. Voices change. People change. And he's never been as stated, a voice actor, just does voice acting work periodically. So he just doesn't do the voice, and it sounds weird. I understand that it shouldn't matter, especially after all this time. But the voices are so different. Rick Hunter's voice is it's normally very deep, and it stays there. There's normal dips and valleys to people's voices, but you can tell from the guy's voice that he's not forcing his voice to be low or anything. It's just, that's his voice when he's cracking a sarcastic one-liner, sort of thing. And it's low and gravelly. John St. John's voice is up here, so when he goes low and gravelly, it's low and gravelly up here instead of low and gravelly down here. So it doesn't have that crackle and such to it, and it just doesn't sound the same. It doesn't have that kick, that bite. Again, it's still a good voice, and because the guy is still a good voice actor, even though Duke Nukem was like, what, 25 years ago? Oh, I'm gonna die soon. But good voice work, just different. And on the subreddit, one person was just like, oh, I can't get over how people just can't get past the voice. It's like they're foolish, they're silly for not being able to get past the voice. He doesn't do voice stuff, it's a different voice, get used to it. And so there were people in there talking about like, well, you know, you get an emotional attachment, or it doesn't have this to it. And some people just agreeing with him entirely, and others saying, oh, look, there's reasons. So there's reasons. I enjoy the game. It's extremely content poor right now, Postal 4, but it's still in alpha, and there's lots of goofy stuff. I've had a ton of goofy stuff happen. Like, you can drive around on a scooter. It's literally like one of those scooters in supermarkets if you have issues and you need to drive around on a scooter. It's one of those. Something had happened where I had parked my scooter, so every time I left a cutscene, I would be back on my scooter, except I wasn't on my scooter. Everything was spinning in circles because the scooter was spinning in place, and I would sit there for like 5 seconds spinning as the cutscene tried to play and finish so that I could go because there was a voice, and then it would just kill me and start me again. No penalty for it, but yeah, they call it the slightly less janky alpha. And it's slightly less janky. I couldn't even play it at first when it came out. There were just so many control issues with my setup, it wouldn't run in the slightest. So thumbs up for that. Anyway, though, past that, it's just been life. And I've been talking so much about Postal 2 because really nothing else has been happening in my life. I've been fighting through the depression, trying to get back up to my normal state, and I've been watching videos and trying to play games, and not much else has been happening. My kitty is continually moving to new places to sleep. She's found a new spot, and at first I had no idea where she was until she crawled out of a tight little hole she's gotten into, so thumbs up for cats. So, I've opened up 24 hours worth of comments in my community tab. I'm going to go through and thank 20 to 25 people for having left me a comment. I'm not reading the comments right now. I'm just thanking you for having left a comment. Good, bad, and different. You took the time. You expended the calories. Thank you very much. If I mispronounce a username, no disrespect is intended. I'm an American English speaker, and even though I count American Sign Language on the fingers of this hand, with my depression, fibro, and then I stumble over the words entirely. Depression, fibromyalgia, mourning, ADHD, and more. I'm sometimes lucky I can remember anything at all, as you just saw. So I'll call my phone here. We have Phoenix Connection, thumbs up. Ice Damon, thank you. JJ, thumbs up. Confused Owl 29, always good to see you in the comments. MT, thumbs up, and I don't know if I have or not. Odran Murphy, I'm nowhere close with the name, but thank you very, very much. Oblivion with a 3 instead of a... I don't know how it would be spelled all of a sudden. My apologies, but thank you very much. Christian Perez, thumbs up, and thank you. Flair, thumbs up. Rec La La, thumbs up. There is DJC3PO Show. Someone Irrelevant, 14, thumbs up. Long name in kanji or katakana or I don't know, but thank you very, very much. Insignificant Nick, thank you very much. Lindsay Kanya, greatly appreciated. Kane Locke, thumbs up. Enemy, greatly appreciated. Hellboy, thumbs up. And we have Colin Reisner, greatly appreciated. I am not sure of the alphabet, 1004, greatly, greatly appreciated. Raymond, thumbs up. Shiz, greatly appreciated. Excuse me. Kapaki, thumbs up and thank you. Fender James, greatly appreciated. And Emre SDAS, thumbs up and thank you. Each and every one of you. You get me out of my head into the world dealing with real people, and that is appreciated. Definitely a thumbs up on that. If you could check out my various links down below, I have Twitter, Facebook, Patreon.com. If you could become a Patreon.com patron, like one of these beautiful and awesome people, that would be beautiful and awesome. And if you'd like to help me out without sending money through the patronage, I have a PayPal link down below. And if you'd like to help me out without sending money, I have an Amazon wishlist link as well. With things like cat food, hamster bedding, silly things, not silly things. If you could check it out, that would be very, very awesome. Now, do not feel obligated. I do not feel entitled. And if you cannot donate, or you simply do not donate, I take all good wishes and I deposit them in the bank of my heart where I draw interest. So thank you very much. If you could toss me a like, I appreciate all the positive validation I get from my existence, a definite thumbs up, and of course, if you could hit the notification bell on the subscription button, that would be very, very cool. A definite thumbs up. Well, good golly, Miss Molly, I have this video here, I have another video I need to record and then edit and render, I think, so I'm going to be at least moderately busy during this continued slow weekend. Hey, it's good to stay busy. Definitely on that. And the lobster hat wearing duckhead of judgment suffers from a surplus of scorn. It is ready, not eager, but ready to cast that scorn upon those it finds disappointing. Its mockery is severe. Do not disappoint the lobster hat wearing duckhead of judgment. It suffers from a surplus of scorn. Hopefully I was actually aiming at it correctly. I was trying to do it all with my peripheral vision. Thumbs up on that. And of course, Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. Yes, all lives matter. But that's just trying to diminish the fact that black lives are in crisis right now. Once we've put out that fire, we can put out all of the fires. That sound right? Hopefully I said it correctly. I'm not quite sure if I did. Today my brain is not functioning properly. Yay. And justice for everybody, the jackbooted, brown-shirted fascist thugs in police uniforms who keep beating, brutalizing, and murdering American citizens in their homes and on the streets. Yay. So, please stay at home unless you have to go out. Wash your hands. Try not to touch your face. Wear a mask if you do have to go out, and practice your social distancing. Oy vey. Oy vey. So, of course, you Bunk. You take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side, my friend. Is there anything else that I was supposed to have said and I accidentally forgot to because me? Well, if I did, I'll beat myself up about it during editing. I'm not going to beat myself up about it. That's why I was laughing. So no fear on that. You take care, and I will see you on the flip side, my friend.